Alina Reyes rubbed her tired eyes as the oscilloscope readings pulsed in patterns that defied conventional physics. 3 months of anomalous data was enough to question her equipment, but 6 months meant something else entirely. She needed more coffee. The university lab was quiet at 2 a.m., just how she preferred it. No department heads looking over her shoulder, no graduate students asking questions she couldn't answer yet. Just Alina and the impossible energy signatures that appeared whenever she focused her attention on her custom-built quantum detector. "Let's try again," she whispered to herself, placing her hands on either side of the detection chamber without touching it. She closed her eyes, visualizing the quantum field as she had learned through years of meditation, a practice her colleagues had often mocked as unscientific. The detector's hum changed pitch. When she opened her eyes, the readings had shifted dramatically. On an impulse, she reached toward the chamber and imagined pulling the energy toward her fingertips. The lights in the lab flickered. Alina's heart pounded as she repeated the gesture. This time, the overhead fluorescent light dimmed noticeably, while the detector showed energy flowing toward her hand. Not electromagnetic energy, something far more fundamental. She fumbled for her phone, recording the phenomenon as she replicated it 3 more times. Each attempt grew stronger, the effect more pronounced. By the 4th try, she could hold a small sphere of bluish light between her palms for nearly 30 seconds before exhaustion forced her to stop. "This changes everything," Alina whispered, her voice shaking. The following morning, dark circles under her eyes, she requested an emergency meeting with the department board. Professor Williams, the department head, granted it reluctantly. "You have 15 minutes, Dr. Reyes. Make it count." Alina connected her laptop to the projector. "What I'm about to show you contradicts everything we understand about quantum energy interaction." The video played. The academics' expressions shifted from boredom to confusion to outright skepticism as they watched Alina manipulate energy fields with nothing but her mind. "This is obviously fake," Professor Williams said before she even finished. "CGI has gotten quite good these days." "It's not fake," Alina protested. "I can demonstrate right now." Dr. Reyes, cut in Dr. Harriman, the university's senior physicist, "You're suggesting human consciousness can directly manipulate quantum fields. That's preposterous. Next, you'll be selling crystal healing and chakra alignments." The laughter that followed burned worse than any criticism. That evening, alone in her apartment, Alina sat in darkness. 6 years of research, a promising career, all potentially ruined because she followed the data where it led. The rejection stung, but the readings didn't lie. One more test, she decided. Alina centered herself, drawing on the same focus she'd used in the lab. She visualized the energy field surrounding her small apartment and gently pulled. The darkness receded as a soft blue light emanated from her hands, growing steadily brighter until it illuminated the entire room. No electricity, no technology. Just pure cosmic energy responding to human consciousness. With trembling hands, she set up her camera to record. The light remained stable for 3 remarkable hours as she documented everything. Wavelength, temperature, effect on other objects. She was simultaneously exhilarated and terrified by the implications. At dawn, exhausted but triumphant, Alina finally powered down her camera. 10 minutes later, her email pinged with a message from an address she didn't recognize. Subject: Quantum Consciousness Project. Message: "We've seen it too. We need to talk. Check your door." A plain envelope had been slipped under her apartment door. Inside was a black key card with a single symbol embossed on its surface, a spiral galaxy surrounding a human fingerprint. Tazorlath's sensory frills flared in alarm as the monitoring station's alerts escalated from yellow to deep crimson. 50 years as senior observer, and he had never seen readings like these. "Run the diagnostics again," he ordered his junior analysts, their 6-fingered hands moving rapidly across holographic interfaces. There must be an equipment malfunction. The vast chamber, carved into an asteroid at the edge of what humans called the Kuiper Belt, hummed with nervous energy as technicians scurried to comply. The wall-sized display showed a pulsing anomaly originating from the third planet of the unremarkable yellow star, one of thousands of developing worlds under passive observation. Diagnostics complete, Observer Exorlath, reported Analyst Miri, her voice carefully controlled. All systems functioning correctly. The energy manipulation signatures are genuine. Exorlath's inner eyelids flickered rapidly, a sign of distress his species rarely displayed in public. Show me the technological source. That's the problem. Sir, there isn't one. The chamber fell silent. In the consortium's 50 millennia of monitoring cosmic energy distribution, this fundamental law had never been broken. Advanced technology was required to access and manipulate universal energy fields. The natural development cycle was clear. Civilizations discovered electricity, then nuclear power, then quantum manipulation, and finally, after centuries of technological refinement, limited cosmic energy harnessing. Yet these humans were somehow bypassing the entire process. Prepare my transport, Exorlath decided. I'll observe directly, and notify the High Council immediately. Within hours, his sleek vessel detached from the monitoring station, accelerating toward Earth at speeds that bent local spacetime. Inside his private chamber, Exorlath reviewed humanity's file. Species, human. Technological development. Early digital age. Noteworthy attributes. Unusual adaptability. Highly variable genetic expression. Remarkable resilience. Threat assessment. Minimal. Containment protocol. Standard observation only. Nothing about natural energy manipulation abilities. Nothing about their brains functioning as direct cosmic conduits. As his ship achieved Earth orbit, Exorlath engaged the cloaking technology and directed sensors toward population centers. The readings were scattered but undeniable. Small energy fluctuations occurring wherever humans concentrated. Most were unconscious, tiny disturbances in the cosmic field, but some were deliberate, focused. Then his sensors detected something that made his respiratory sacs constrict painfully. In a suburban dwelling outside a city labeled Denver, a human juvenile was unconsciously manipulating significant cosmic energy while engaged in a simple art activity. Exorlath enhanced the visual feed. A small female child, approximately 6 years old by human measures, sat at a table drawing with colored wax sticks. Each time she switched colors, a small burst of cosmic energy responded to her excitement, creating ripples in the universal field that should have been impossible without technology far beyond Earth's development stage. The implications were staggering. These humans weren't just anomalous. They were evolutionary wildcards. Their isolation from consortium influence had allowed their neural pathways to develop in ways that bypassed technological requirements for energy manipulation. Record everything, he instructed the ship's eye. Priority Alpha classification. As data streamed to his consoles, Exorlath composed his report to the High Council with growing unease. The consortium had encountered thousands of emerging civilizations, but never one that threatened their fundamental understanding of cosmic energy dynamics. Never one that could potentially access the power that the consortium had spent millennia learning to control through technology. His communication console chimed with an incoming priority message. The High Council had already made their decision. His mission had changed from observation to diplomatic contact. First contact protocols authorized. The message read, assess threat level. Determine containment options. Exorlath stared at the child on his monitor, still innocently drawing, unaware that her very existence had just set in motion events that would forever change the relationship between humanity and the cosmos. News networks worldwide interrupted regular programming as massive ships materialized in Earth's atmosphere. Their hulls shimmered with contained energy, rippling like oil on water as they positioned themselves above major cities on every continent. Military jets scrambled in response but kept a wary distance, outmatched in both size and technology. In the White House Situation Room, the president gripped the edge of the conference table. What are we looking at, General? 27 vessels, sir, each approximately 2 miles long. Our weapons systems can't even get a target lock. Something's disrupting our guidance systems. The screens lining the wall showed similar scenes unfolding across the globe. Moscow, Beijing, London, Tokyo, all watched helplessly as the enormous crafts hovered in silent display of overwhelming force. Then every electronic device on Earth, televisions, radios, phones, computers, broadcast the same message simultaneously in each region's local language. People of Earth, we are the Galactic Consortium, overseers of cosmic energy distribution. We have detected unauthorized manipulation of universal energy fields originating from your planet. This activity violates natural development protocols and threatens galactic stability. Cease all energy manipulation research and activities immediately. You have 48 Earth hours to comply, or we will implement containment procedures. Your species is too unpredictable for such power. The transmission ended, leaving billions in stunned silence. Inside a Colorado mountain complex, hastily converted from a military installation to a research facility, Dr. Elena Reyes watched the message replay on a monitor. Around her, 24 others with confirmed energy manipulation abilities huddled in nervous discussion. They had been gathered here after the mysterious government contact that followed Elena's discovery. "They're afraid of us," observed Dr. Katsuo Yamada, a quantum physicist from Kyoto University. "Not our technology, but us specifically." "What do they mean by containment procedures?" asked Fatima Nazari, a 19-year-old engineering student whose ability had manifested during a laboratory accident. Elena studied the alien ship visible outside the reinforced windows. "I think we all know what containment means." Colonel Rivera entered the room, expression grim. "The Security Council is convening an emergency session. They want Dr. Reyes to join by secure video. The consortium has agreed to a dialogue." An hour later, Elena faced a wall of screens showing world leaders on one side and the alien delegation on the other. The consortium representatives appeared almost human, but with iridescent skin and elaborate cranial ridges that pulsed with light as they spoke. "Your demand is unreasonable," the UN Secretary General was saying. "You cannot expect us to suppress a natural human ability we've only just discovered." Natural ability. The lead alien diplomat, identifying himself as Ambassador Xorlath, leaned forward. "Perhaps a demonstration of our concern is warranted." With a subtle gesture, he activated a holographic display showing complex patterns of energy manipulation. "This technology took our civilization 2,000 years to develop. It allows precise control of cosmic energy for purposes ranging from power generation to interstellar travel." The human delegates watched in silent awe. Then Elena spoke up from her video feed. "May I respond with a human demonstration?" After receiving approval, Elena centered herself, then raised her hands. Without any technology, without any devices, she recreated the same energy pattern the consortium had displayed, but then transformed it, creating elegant variations that flowed organically between states the aliens had shown as separate. The consortium delegates fell completely silent, their cranial ridges darkening in what humans would later learn was their expression of shock. "Impossible," Thorlath whispered. "Those patterns require quantum stabilizers to maintain coherence." Elena met his gaze through the screen. "Not for us. Your people spent millennia learning to use technology to access cosmic energy. We were born connected to it. You learned the rules. We feel them." In the silence that followed, humanity's unique place in the cosmic order hung in the balance. The lights went out across North America first. Power grids failed simultaneously as consortium ships emitted precisely calibrated energy pulses designed to disrupt electrical infrastructure. Europe and Asia followed within hours. The aliens had strategically begun their containment protocol by targeting modern civilization's most critical vulnerability: dependence on technology. In a New York hospital, Dr. Sarah Chen stared in horror as the life support systems failed. Backup generators sputtered and died, inexplicably drained of power. In the neonatal intensive care unit, 20 premature infants faced imminent danger as their incubators shut down. "No," Sarah whispered, a surge of protective rage filling her. "Not these children." Without understanding how, she reached toward the nearest incubator and focused her will. A soft blue glow emanated from her fingertips, flowing into the machine. The displays flickered back to life. Gasping, she moved to the next incubator, and the next. When hospital administrators arrived with emergency supplies 30 minutes later, they found every machine in the NICU functioning, normally despite the power outage, and Dr. Chen sitting exhausted in the center of the room, her hands glowing faintly. Similar scenes unfolded worldwide. In Tokyo, subway trains stranded underground maintained air circulation without power. In London, hospital operating rooms continued functioning during critical surgeries. In Cairo, water purification systems kept running despite the complete electrical blackout. The consortium observers were baffled. Their energy disruption technology had never failed before. Reports flooded into Exorlath's command ship. "The humans are adapting faster than projected," a subordinate reported. "Energy manipulation abilities are manifesting in thousands of new individuals, primarily in response to immediate threats." Exorlath studied the data with growing concern. Implement Phase 2. Target the population centers, showing the highest energy signatures. In New Delhi's crowded Karol Bagh neighborhood, consortium forces deployed for their first direct ground assault. Their target: an apartment complex housing several humans whose energy signatures had been detected manipulating cosmic energy. As alien soldiers approached, residents gathered in the central courtyard, warned by a teenage girl who had dreamed of the attack the previous night. None had military training. Most had discovered their abilities only days earlier. "Remember what the video said," shouted Prisha Patel, a former high school physics teacher who had organized their hasty training. "Visualize the energy as a wall. Feel it protecting us, surrounding us." The 100 gathered residents linked hands, focusing their intent as the consortium forces fired the first energy pulse, a non-lethal wave designed to render humans unconscious. The invisible barrier that formed shocked both sides. The energy pulse struck it and dissipated harmlessly, rippling outward like a stone thrown into a pond. The consortium commander ordered a second, stronger pulse. The barrier flickered but held. The third pulse at maximum non-lethal intensity made several humans stagger, but others stepped forward to reinforce the protection. In his ship, Exorlath received the urgent transmission. "Ground forces unable to penetrate defense barrier in target zone Alpha. The humans have created an energy shield without technology. Requesting instructions." Across the planet, similar reports flooded in. A Chicago elementary school successfully repelled consortium scouts when a group of teachers, having discovered their abilities only that morning while protecting students, collectively immobilized an alien craft. In Santiago, elderly residents of a nursing home maintained life support systems through the night by taking shifts channeling energy into critical medical equipment. The consortium's strategic assessment system, accurate across thousands of previous species encounters, displayed a warning never before seen. Threat assessment. Recalculating. Learning curve exceeds all established models. Orlath stared at the message, a realization dawning that would forever change the consortium's understanding of the cosmos. Their carefully constructed hierarchy of species development had just been shattered by humans who were rewriting the rules of cosmic energy manipulation in real time. The underground facility, deep within Colorado's Rocky Mountains, hummed with activity. Originally built as a Cold War bunker, it now served as humanity's primary research center for understanding their emerging abilities. Dr. Elena Reyes studied the brain scan results displayed across multiple screens, searching for patterns. "Run the comparison again," she instructed Dr. Marcus Wong, a neurologist who had joined the team after spontaneously healing his daughter's broken arm during a hiking accident. Focus on the limbic system this time. The 3D brain models rotated on the display, highlighting regions of activity during energy manipulation. Dozens of test subjects had undergone scans while performing various energy-related tasks. There, Elena pointed at the amygdala and hypothalamus regions. The emotional centers are consistently active across all successful manipulations. Dr. Anya Petrova, a quantum physicist from Moscow who had been teleported to the facility by her own emerging abilities, leaned forward. The intensity varies based on the type of manipulation. Look at Subject 7. Their emotional centers show minimal activity during simple illumination tasks, but massive activation during protective shielding tests. Elena nodded slowly, the implications becoming clear. It's not just about focus or willpower. Our emotions are amplifying our connection to the cosmic energy field. They designed a series of controlled experiments, bringing in volunteers with varying ability levels. The results were undeniable. Subjects experiencing fear produced quick, powerful energy bursts, ideal for defensive maneuvers. Those focusing on determination maintained steady output over longer periods. Compassion enabled precise healing applications, and most remarkably, subjects channeling feelings of love created the strongest, most stable energy patterns of all. Outside the testing chamber, Major James Rivera watched through the observation window. Can we weaponize this? Elena shook her head. That's exactly what the consortium would expect. But we found something they don't understand, something they can't counter. The consortium, meanwhile, had been monitoring these experiments through their advanced surveillance technology. In his command ship, Exorlath reviewed the findings with mounting concern. These results cannot be accurate, he insisted to his science officer. Emotional states are primitive evolutionary responses. They create inconsistency, unpredictability. Advanced species suppress them as they develop. Nevertheless, responded the science officer, the humans are using these emotional states to channel cosmic energy with unprecedented efficiency. The consortium's strategy relied on logical, technological approaches to energy manipulation, methodical and precise. Their species had evolved to prioritize rational thought, viewing emotions as primitive responses to be controlled. For humans, these primitive responses were becoming their greatest strength. Exorlath made his decision. We must eliminate this research facility immediately. The attack came at dawn, a precision strike against the mountain complex. Consortium forces deployed advanced energy disruption weapons designed to neutralize technological defenses. What they encountered instead was a protective barrier unlike any they had faced before. Parents whose children were inside the facility had formed a perimeter, channeling their protective instincts into a shimmering shield that rippled with iridescent light. "Hold the line," shouted Julia Martinez, a kindergarten teacher whose son was inside. "Remember what we practiced. Focus on why you're protecting them, not how." The consortium weapons, calibrated to counter technological energy patterns, struck the emotionally powered shield and scattered harmlessly. 3 successive waves of increasingly powerful attacks yielded the same result. Inside the command ship, alarms blared as sensors overloaded. "Impossible," muttered Exorlath, watching the human shield grow stronger with each attack. Their energy output should be depleting, not increasing. The science officer's voice was quiet. "Sir, we've never encountered a species that uses emotional states to amplify cosmic energy. Our weapons are designed to counter logical, technological energy patterns. We have no effective countermeasure for this." For the first time in his long career, Exorlath ordered a full retreat. As his forces withdrew, he stared at the final sensor readings with a realization that shook his understanding of the cosmos. The consortium had encountered thousands of species across the galaxy, but never one they fundamentally could not understand. Until now. 6 months after first contact, humanity had transformed. What began as isolated incidents of energy manipulation had evolved into a global awakening. Training centers operated in every major city, helping people discover and develop their latent abilities. Elena Reyes stood on the roof of the mountain facility, watching the sunset paint the Colorado sky in brilliant oranges and pinks. Beside her, Colonel Rivera studied a tablet displaying satellite imagery. "Another consortium ship disabled over Argentina," he reported. "That makes 17 this week." The images showed a massive alien vessel listing in orbit, its propulsion systems dark after a coordinated energy pulse from human operators on the ground. Small evacuation pods jettisoned from its hull, fleeing toward the consortium's remaining command ships. "They're withdrawing from Earth orbit," Elena observed, pulling back to a defensive perimeter around the moon. It had been 3 months since humanity had transitioned from defense to offense. The discovery that human emotions amplified energy manipulation had changed everything. Training now focused not just on technique, but on emotional focus, channeling feelings into precise cosmic energy applications. Most surprising was the discovery of humanity's unique communication ability. Elena demonstrated it now, closing her eyes and reaching out through the cosmic energy field. Instantly, she connected with Dr. Anya Petrova, currently coordinating operations in Moscow. "The consortium is deploying something new." Anya's thoughts flowed clearly across 12,000 kilometers. Unusual energy readings near their lunar base. This instantaneous connection, dubbed cosmic resonance, allowed perfect global coordination without technology. The consortium, despite their advanced capabilities, lacked this ability entirely. Their communication still relied on technology that could be disrupted or intercepted. In his command vessel beyond the moon, Exorlaf faced the unthinkable, the prospect of defeat. In the consortium's 50,000-year history, no emerging species had ever driven them back. "The High Council has authorized deployment of the Severance Engine," announced his second-in-command. Exorlaf's sensory frills darkened. The Severance Engine, a technology so extreme it had been used only twice before. Designed to permanently disconnect planets from the cosmic energy field, it was the consortium's ultimate containment protocol. "Begin preparations," he ordered, pushing aside his growing doubts. 3 days later, a massive device moved into position between Earth and its moon. Nearly 2 kilometers in diameter, its intricate geometric structure pulsed with accumulated energy. Humanity detected the threat immediately. Through cosmic resonance, word spread globally within minutes. Elena coordinated with awakened sensitives worldwide, unsure how to counter such a massive device. "It's designed to sever our connection to the cosmic energy field," she explained to world leaders in an emergency session. "If it succeeds, our abilities will vanish." As the Severance Engine powered up, a brilliant beam of concentrated energy shot toward Earth. Millions of humans felt the coming disruption through their connection to the cosmic field. Instead of panic, an unprecedented global response emerged spontaneously. Across every continent, humans reached out to the approaching energy wave, not fighting it, but embracing it. The Severance Engine, designed to disrupt connections to cosmic energy, inadvertently fed that energy directly to the naturally receptive human consciousness. In her Colorado facility, Elena watched in amazement as energy readings spiked worldwide. "The Severance Engine is backfiring," she whispered. "It's enhancing our connection instead of cutting it." Desperate to stop the catastrophic failure, the consortium fired on their own malfunctioning device. The resulting explosion released a devastating wave of energy that should have scorched Earth's surface. Instead, billions of humans instinctively worked together, creating a planetary network that absorbed and redistributed the incoming blast. What should have been an extinction-level event became a global power surge that awakened latent abilities in billions more humans. In orbit, Exorlaf watched in disbelief as his most powerful weapon not only failed but strengthened the very connection it was meant to sever. For the first time in the consortium's long history, their technological approach to cosmic energy had been completely outmatched by a species that connected to it naturally. The Severance Engine's catastrophic failure left debris scattered across Earth's orbit. Among the wreckage, a single consortium scout ship tumbled toward the Atlantic Ocean, its guidance systems failing as it entered the atmosphere. United States Navy vessels tracked its descent, reaching the crash site within hours. Instead of the expected military response, Dr. Elena Reyes insisted on leading the recovery team personally. What they found surprised everyone. A single survivor, Ambassador Xorlath himself, critically injured but alive. At a secure medical facility in Virginia, human doctors worked alongside scientists to stabilize the alien diplomat. Elena observed from behind glass as medical staff adapted human treatments for his non-terrestrial physiology. "He's conscious," the lead physician reported 3 days later, "and requesting to speak with you specifically, Dr. Reyes." Elena entered the room cautiously. Xorlath's iridescent skin had dulled to a pale blue. His breathing labored despite the specialized equipment supporting him. "You could have let me die," he said, his voice translator converting his native clicks and whistles into English. "Many in your military advocated for exactly that." "That's not who we are," Elena replied simply. "No." Xorlath's inner eyelids flickered in what she would later learn was a gesture of deep respect. "It isn't. I've been watching your species closely. You value connection. To each other, to your planet, and now to the cosmic energy that binds all things." He gestured weakly to a small device near his bed. "This contains historical records from my civilization. I am committing treason by sharing them, but I believe the universe requires it." The records revealed a shocking truth. The consortium had not always been exploiters. 10,000 years ago, they had been genuine guardians of cosmic balance, monitoring energy flows throughout the galaxy to prevent disruptions. But over millennia, their purpose had corrupted. They began harvesting cosmic energy rather than protecting it, addicting themselves to extended lifespans and powering increasingly extravagant civilizations. "The energy we take isn't generated," Xorlath explained. "It's stolen from the natural flow that maintains galactic equilibrium. Stars dim prematurely. Planetary systems destabilize. Life-bearing worlds suffer climate collapse." Elena's hands trembled as she reviewed the data. "Your leaders know this. They've known for thousands of years. They suppress the information even from our own people." His breath rattled painfully. "Our fear of humanity isn't about your potential for violence. It's about your potential to expose our cosmic exploitation." The revelation spread rapidly through cosmic resonance. Humanity now understood they weren't facing protectors of universal balance, but parasites addicted to power they had no right to take. With this knowledge, Dr. Rice organized an unprecedented experiment. 10,000 humans with advanced abilities gathered at sites around the globe, connecting through the cosmic field. Their target, a dying star near the consortium homeworld, its energy depleted by centuries of harvesting. Through collective consciousness, they focused not on taking energy but on restoring its natural flow. Astronomers watched in amazement as the star's output stabilized, its natural cycles beginning to recover. Xorlath, viewing the data from his recovery bed, wept openly. "What my people have damaged through millennia of technology, yours can heal through simple connection." The implications were staggering. Human consciousness, naturally attuned to cosmic energy, could potentially restore balance to systems the consortium had been depleting for thousands of years. Across Earth, humanity's understanding of their place in the universe transformed. They weren't just an emerging species discovering new abilities. They were potentially the key to healing cosmic damage that had been accumulating for millennia. As Xorlath recovered, he became an unlikely ally, sharing consortium knowledge while learning the human approach to cosmic energy. "Your species evolved in isolation from our influence," he explained. "Perhaps that wasn't accidental. Perhaps the universe itself was creating exactly what it needed. Conscious beings who could connect with cosmic energy without exploiting it." Dawn broke over a changed Earth. Skies that had been darkened by consortium vessels for months now glowed with the soft light of early morning. Humanity had reached a critical juncture. The Consortium High Council had rejected Xorlath's plea for peaceful resolution and dispatched their remaining battle fleet for one final assault. At coordination centers worldwide, humans prepared not for war, but for healing. In the Rocky Mountain facility, Elena studied the holographic display showing the approaching fleet, over 200 vessels armed with planet-killing weaponry. "They're desperate," observed Exor, now recovered enough to stand beside her. His once formal posture had softened during his months among humans. "The Council fears that if other species learn what you've discovered about cosmic energy, their entire power structure will collapse." "How many of your people know the truth now?" Elena asked. "Millions. The information you helped me transmit has spread through underground networks across consortium worlds." His inner eyelids flickered with emotion. Many ships in that fleet carry crews who question their orders. The approaching armada suddenly wavered. On the tactical display, nearly 40 vessels broke formation, their energy signatures changing as they powered down weapon systems. "It's happening," Sorlath whispered. "The rebellion has begun." Across consortium worlds, inspired by Earth's resistance and Sorlath's revelations, citizens were rising against their leadership. The truth had spread like wildfire. The cosmic energy their civilization depended on was being stolen, not generated, and the damage was approaching irreversible levels. The remaining consortium ships continued their approach, still vastly outnumbering the defectors. Their weapons, designed to drain planetary energy fields, could render Earth uninhabitable within hours. Elena activated the global resonance network. It's time. Across the planet, billions of humans focused simultaneously on a single purpose. Not defense, not counterattack, but restoration. The technique they had successfully tested on a single star now expanded to encompass nearby space. Human consciousness, uniquely attuned to cosmic energy patterns, reached out to restore natural flows throughout the solar system. The effect was immediate and visible. Auroras danced across skies worldwide, as energy patterns long suppressed by consortium harvesting flourished under human guidance. The cosmic energy network, stunted for millennia, began flowing freely again. The approaching consortium weapons, designed to drain and redirect energy, found nothing to latch onto. Energy wasn't being hoarded or weaponized. It flowed naturally through human consciousness and back into the cosmic web. In orbit, consortium captains watched in confusion as their targeting systems failed to locate energy concentrations to attack. Their energy-draining weapons, devastating against technological civilizations, proved useless against a species that didn't contain or channel power, but simply conducted it. Within hours, the remaining attack fleet withdrew, their mission impossible to complete. The consortium's 50,000-year reign as cosmic energy controllers had ended, not through war, but through a fundamental shift in understanding. In the months that followed, a new galactic community began forming. Exor, appointed as Earth's ambassador to former consortium worlds, worked tirelessly to bridge the gap between technological and intuitive approaches to cosmic energy. On a hilltop overlooking the Pacific Ocean, Elena watched the sunset with new awareness of the cosmic energies flowing around her. A group of children played nearby, their natural abilities already surpassing what adults had struggled to learn. "They'll never know a world where they weren't connected to everything," she observed. Exor nodded, his translator capturing the nuance of his response. The shocking truth that changed everything wasn't that humans could control the universe's energy. It's that you never needed to control it at all, only to connect with it, nurture it, and let it flow through you. Elena smiled as the children's laughter echoed across the hillside. Throughout the galaxy, stars that had been dimming for millennia burned brighter. Planets long stripped of cosmic vitality began to rejuvenate. The natural order, suppressed but never destroyed, flourished once more under the guidance of the one species that had evolved to understand it not as a resource to be harvested, but as a living connection to be cherished.